And today on the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, we are going to be talking about the WWE and Endeavor's sale of the WWE company. We're going to be talking about that. And we're going to talk a little bit about WrestleMania. We're going to be talking more about the Raw after Mania and what caused Jay White to sign with AEW. This is all connected. And we're going to be talking about that today in the Chokeslam Wrestling Report. Let's get it.
We came out here to tell you to your face, you can't get ready for us. No, sir.
Oh my God! They killed Kitty! You bastard!
Welcome to another episode of the Chokeslam Wrestling Report, and we are live. We are live on YouTube, and we're definitely live on Facebook. So, once again, thank you for everybody who supports my podcast. Last week, I'm gonna keep it real. Last week was kind of probably not a smart thing to do my podcast, being that everybody was being prepared for NXT Stand and Deliver. Everybody was ready for the WrestleManias on last Saturday. So a lot of people probably wasn't on YouTube and on social media because they were sitting down on their couch, probably eating. A lot of these other podcasters were trying to get all the attention, from the fans and all this stuff. So but then again, for those who support it during that time and viewing my YouTube channel, I appreciate it. But let's get straight to the topics on hand. Now, I did get to see both WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. What mind boggles me is that this was one of the best WrestleMania in the last 5 years. Okay. Last 2 years, of course, because of pandemic, whatever, it was I. I'm gonna keep it like we say in New York City. It was I. Okay. But this WrestleMania, there was probably I could say maybe out of the 12 matches that they had, I could say probably three weren't that good. I can name them. The showcase for the tag team with Braun Strowman, Ricochet, and all that. It was all right. Was nothing to be cheering crazy about. I mean, I think they could have done that, like I said, on Sunday when I did my review on night one on Facebook. They could have put that on Raw. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the only match that I felt that it wasn't that great. I could do without the damn Miz, Snoop Doggy Dogg, and Pat McAfee coming at night one to beat up the Miz. Okay. The same thing happened the night after, but this time was Shane McMahon, and he ended up blowing out his quad, which means God don't like ugly. You should have not been there. You just took that spot from a talent. So that's what happens. The Brock Lesnar versus Omos wasn't great at all. They could have done this at Raw also. The rest of the card was good. The best, I think the best three matches that I could say here from both nights. Number one, I could put that it was the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were the top one, followed by Charlotte and Rhea Ripley, and then the Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. The Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes with the Rhea Ripley and Charlotte, that could be debatable. But I think as far as the uh, Charlotte and Rhea Ripley match, that could be considered a match of the year. Those two women put it all out there, and I thought Charlotte broke her neck at one point of that match. So, giving you that thoughts and opinion on that of the whole WrestleMania, how in the world can a two-night great event that probably combined, and I'm gonna say combined because they're trying to make it do like they had 160,000 people in a stadium, which it was. They keep using that numbers. They love using numbers and lying. Okay, yes, 160,000 people came those two nights to watch that event. How is it that the next night on Raw after Mania it was garbage? Of course, we got one person to blame, and that is Vince McMahon. Okay. But earlier during the day of that Monday, we heard that Endeavors, who owns UFC, had made a deal with Vince McMahon and the WWE. Now, when I first heard of this, I said to myself, wow, this is great. And I heard it and I read it on Sunday. So I went and I bought stocks from Endeavors because I figured, well, you know what? I'm going to buy me some stocks from Endeavors. I already got WWE stocks. So let me see what's going to happen here. Turns out the WWE was selling only 51% of the company, with them keeping the other 49%. So, but in a combined effort for them to be together, which it would practically cost $20 billion in together, which was it's crazy numbers. But right after that, they had NBC interviewing Vince McMahon with his the guy from Sonic the Hedgehog, the captain, whatever, looking like a drug cartel, saying that he didn't want to be in the weeds anymore and that he was taking over creative. And Monday Night Raw did not show you that he was in control. It showed you. And Triple H was used, and I'm going to tell you how he was used. He was sent out there to tell everybody that it wasn't WWE's going to stay here forever and they weren't going nowhere. No. Translation to that was Vince McMahon is here and he's not going anywhere. Okay. And sure enough, chaos has happened in the week, the last probably couple of 4 or 5 days, with this man taking over creative again. You have heard talent talking about walking out. You have heard talent talking about they're gonna run out their contract and they gone. Right now, Drew McIntyre has no contract. He didn't even come out last night in SmackDown and whatnot. So basically, he probably may not come back because he feels that creatively they're not using him properly. He thinks that if he does sign another contract, he's not going to get more money and whatnot. He may be gone. Okay, talent is not happening in WWE, and the crazy part is on Monday morning I sent a tweet talking about AEW better get their stuff together because those 2 night event of WrestleMania was crazy. It was something I did not expect. But here comes McMahon, and he goes and shits on over everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy because now I see this, and I'm saying to myself, how in the world is Vince McMahon coming in, taking over, and whatnot, and he just shitted on everything that was done beautiful that weekend. But let's be realistic. Podcaster creators that I have respect that I listen to, I may not agree with everything they say. They were right all the time. They've been right. McMahon has been behind the scenes. He may not have been in Gorilla, but he's been behind the scenes since December. The difference is he probably wasn't showing up. There was also a situation where they talk about that he went to visit John Cena when John Cena confronted Austin Theory. He was there to visit Cena. No, he wasn't. He was there. He was already taking control. So they did this. And people want to defend this. Okay, a lot of people that I know, I'm like, oh, I was saving money to go to WrestleMania 40. I'm not even going. WrestleMania 40 is going to be in Philadelphia next year, which is a skip, hop, and a ride from New York City. Okay, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy because how is it that we have a situation where they just came out of a great 2 night event, and of course, with this happening, okay, then we have to figure out, what they're going to do next. And of course, this whole situation that happened over the week, okay, now WWE and Endeavors, actually WWE is getting investigated because they feel by some law firm because they feel that there's some illegal tactics going on. The owners of the Atlanta Braves were trying to buy WWE and whatnot. And again, the podcast who came up with this, well, actually not came up, but he has sources on this, that supposedly they said, well, we would like to buy it, but you cannot be in charge. So McMahon making sure that he still want to be in charge. He still want to be at the helm. He sold it to Endeavors, who probably may have paid probably less than what he did, than what this other group, Liberty. It was called Liberty. The group was called Liberty. So he did not send it to Atlanta Braves owners, Liberty, because he wasn't going to be in charge. So he decided, hey, let me sell it to Endeavors, because Endeavors is going to still have me in charge. I'll still have 49% of ownership of WWE. They'll have 51, and we'll combine it. But see, they're always trying to fool the public, and people fall for this. Okay, but again, I was one of those on Monday when I sent that tweet about AEW better get their stuff together, or else they're gonna get swallowed up by WWE. Well, we may not. This merger may not be valid. It may not go through, because remember, WWE is a public company, and people love talking about money, especially those who got no damn stock in the damn company. Oh, WWE got the most money, whatever. Okay, you got the most money, but they've been lying to the investors for years, because they don't have no clue of what's going on. They don't watch wrestling. They don't watch the program. All they care is about their money. And now McMahon may be in trouble. And I think this time when he gets in trouble, he won't be able to get out, because he bought his way back into the board. There is no board anymore, supposedly. WWE doesn't have a board members now after this merger. What's going to happen? But see, this led to something that probably at the end of the day is going to hurt WWE. Now, I'm going to get into the Jay White conversation, because the Jay White was a free agent out there for the last 2 months. As you guys know, I covered it on my podcast, in the audio, and my YouTube, and I said that if Jay White does not show up at Revolution, he was heading to WWE. Now, WWE was so confident that he was going to sign with them. They had months of creative ideas for him to come in. Okay, months. Meaning probably was Triple H who had this plan, whatever. Months. Talking about months of creativity. Okay, and they were so confident he was going to come in. Word that's been going around on dirt sheets and reports was he decided not to sign with WWE once he found out that Vince McMahon was going to be in charge of creative. He knew it. And he's a smart man. He's not stupid. Jay White was in Japan for many years. He started in Japan. This is a man who was a Grand Slam champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Now, a lot of people would say, "Oh, Jay White is nothing," because that's what you kept hearing. Jay White ain't nothing. Jay White ain't shit. The man is a freaking Grand Slam champion. Okay, he has held every belt in New Japan, and I don't want to hear that New Japan is an indie. New Japan is not. And I repeat, it's not an indie. New Japan is a big promotion in Japan. One of the biggest. It's the WWE in Japan. Okay? Where you think WWE was trying to get into Japan to compete with them, and they couldn't. They couldn't. Okay? So, with that being said, now everybody was talking about, oh, you know, Jay White ain't nothing. Jay White ain't nothing, but yet when they found out that he was a free agent, oh, we would like to bring him in. So he could have matches with Roman Reigns and this and this and that. But it's not gonna. It didn't happen because he knew if he would have been coming to WWE, he would have been the flavor of the month. Let's put it that way. He would have been the flavor of the month. Let's be realistic. He would have been flavor of the month. The next thing you know, he's in catering. Okay, with Omos and them. Okay, and Elias, all these people. Okay, so that's what happened. That's what caused that to happen for him to go then sign with AEW. And he signed a multi-year deal with AEW, which I'm going to get into. But one thing I knew something was wrong when it comes with WWE also. Besides the merge of the Endeavor and all that, was when Brock Lesnar this past Monday came out to team up with Cody Rhodes. Now reports were coming in from Fightful Select, which I respect Fightful Select. But whoever was their source, they lied to them and told them that this was already planned for a month. So basically, who knows if Cody was supposed to win the belt from Roman Reigns and McMahon changed it. McMahon changed it because then next thing you know, after the WrestleMania, once Rose lost lost the match. Triple H got on the pre-show or the post-show, whatever they call it, or they're trying to do the scrum like AEW. He said the story never ends. The story is going to continue. Blah blah blah. Did you see the story continue this week? No. Instead, they made it look like Brock Lesnar was going to team up uh with um with Cody, and next thing you know, he F5'd him and beat the bricks out of him through the whole show. And then to make and and I told this to my boy Mike, and I say, look, Brock Lesnar gets used uh by Vince McMahon to send a message to the fans. After Brock Lesnar beat the bricks out of Cody, when he got to the ramp, he gave him the bird. Pretty much, that's a sign from McMahon saying, "Screw you, fans. I'm back, and I'm going to give you what I want to give you." Because Triple H went up there talking about on the post media show or on WrestleMania on Sunday, talking about the storyline continues. Storyline continues to what? And it looks like storyline for the Bloodline is continuing, but it looks like it's still continuing with Sami Zayn, because last night Sami Zayn got beat up by Jey Uso and Solo Sikoa until Matt Riddle came out. So now Matt Riddle is part of the storyline, which does that make any sense? And I'm sure Roman Reigns taking a break, and you ain't gonna see Roman Reigns for a while. So it goes to show you they went from being up here, being up here and whatnot, to going back here. Okay. Now they ain't all the way down here, but that's coming soon with McMahon. When he gets caught this time and messing around with the federal government, he ain't gonna be able to get out of this one. Okay, because you're messing with the federal government when it comes to stocks and stuff, merger and stuff like that. He is gonna get caught. He's going in this time. He bought his he bought his way back $17 million worth coming back and gave the money back to the company for the hush money that he did, and he think he can get away with it. Sounds like a Donald Trump thing, doesn't it? The hush money. But anyway, I digress. But it is what it is. But we're gonna see where this goes at. Now let's talk a little quicker AEW again. This week we saw Jay White come out pretty much telling you guys that he signed with AEW. But the interesting part was the way he came out. It wasn't to a big fanfare, which people received him well. But the thing that bugs me out is he signed with AEW, and now him and Juice Robinson team up just like the way I said it was gonna happen. But instead of them throwing this as part of Bullet Club, because you heard the Bullet Club theme, they did this and they banged the finger the gun sign together. Now, are we gonna watch the Bullet Club implode within in Japan and here in the United States? Because let me tell you, I was watching the New York Japan Cup, and it looked like David Finlay is having issues with a Phantasmal. Okay, and I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if the group is going to be happy with David Finlay as the leader, and Ghetto may get kicked out of Bullet Club. David Finlay may get kicked out of Bullet Club. He may not. Who knows? But this is a good thing because now we got Forbidden Door coming up in June in Toronto. Anything can happen with Jay White in there. I know a lot of people are like, oh, he's going to be in there and they're not going to use him. No, because remember, MJF has been talking a lot of crap, talking about after the 2024 he's leaving. So if he leaves, they got the perfect guy who could carry the company as a heel. Jay White, perfectly. You know what I'm saying? And he's good at the promo. Nobody can tell me otherwise. And I'm glad he signed with AEW. I'm glad. And yeah, I'm going to be right here and say I'm glad he's with AEW. Because Jay White is my favorite wrestler right now. He's been my favorite wrestler for a while, especially because he's Bullet Club. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he signed with them, I went, whew, thank God. Because God knows what would have happened. But, real quick, a couple of notes that I had in mind. This today they had Sakura Genesis in Japan. And first of all, let me say real quick, Aussie Open became the IWGP United States. I'm sorry, United States IWGP Tag Team Champions. Again, we're live, and I'll be making mistakes. The IWGP Tag Team Champions by beating Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi Bushimon. So they're becoming the first time IWGP Tag Team Champions. And I've been saying this for the last couple of weeks too. It's time for us to open to win the IWGP Tag Team Champion. That tag team is the future of tag team, especially when they've wrestled FTR last October. It was October. I think was it October or September, something like that. In Royal Quest in London. It was a phenomenal match, and I would recommend anybody who loves tag team matches to watch that match. It was ridiculous. Also, Sonata, the former LIJ member who left to join the group called Just Four Guys, now it's known as Just Five Guys now, defeated Okada today for the IWGP World Championship. Sonata becomes the world champion for the first time. It was time also for him to win the title because he has had great matches with Okada for years. And they were not using him correctly. I think they weren't pushing him hard. And I love the story behind that. Supposedly, Sanada left LIJ because when Muda decided to retire and was looking for somebody to wrestle in Japan, they passed him over Naito. And he didn't like that. So he decided to leave LIJ because he knew he wasn't going anywhere with them. So now Sonata with a new look. He doesn't have the blonde hair anymore. He doesn't how you call it? He doesn't wear the long pants. He got a whole different look now. He is the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, and I hope they do not use him for a short reign. You know, because Okada, every time you turn around, Okada's winning the damn belt. And I've been saying it. You know, after a while, we see a wrestler winning a championship over and over and over again, it becomes boring. You know what I'm saying? Give new blood, or give somebody a little title ring that you can enjoy. So we'll see where that goes. I know the G1 Climax 33 is coming up in July. That's gonna happen. And that's gonna run all the way to August. We got Capital Collision coming up in May. They got Resurgence coming up. So New Japan has a lot of shows coming up, which I'm definitely going to be checking out and whatnot. So we'll see. Also, this week we saw Josh Alexander relinquish the world title. That is a big blow for Impact because I don't think they have anybody in there that could pretty much carry that company. Steve Macklin maybe, but I don't know if they're going to push him. I don't see him as a world champion. I definitely don't want to see Sammy Callahan world champion again. I really don't. So who knows? I think yesterday there was a NWA pay per view, which I don't care about no NWA because NWA got Tyrus as the world champion, which is Mick Carter as their champion. So that goes to show you where they're going with that. So I think that's about it. But again, big. Also, I forgot before I go. AEW is now going to do an event in Wembley Stadium in London. All in, not all out, all in. They're coming back with all in after what? It's been almost 5 years, 6 years since they've done an all in. Um, they're going to do that. Now, to me, the only way that event could be real successful. I mean, I'm sure they're going to probably sell out probably the whole damn arena because in London, when it comes to UK, people love wrestling over there. So, and it's something different. It's not WWE, it's something different. And I'm sure a lot of people would like to see AEW out there. But I think the way they could make it better, of course, they're gonna have New Japan, and they do something. Maybe they'll have Will Ospreay wrestle there. It will be a great match. And Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega go at it. Osprey Omega 2 in there. That'll be perfect. You could have an FTR versus Aussie Open in there. That'll be awesome in there. You could have a Zack Sabre Jr. versus Brian Danielson, unless they're doing it in Forbidden Door. What else? MJF versus Okada. We could see that. So, I mean, I'm just giving you, I'm giving you fantasy booking. This is a way they could go and blow up if they want to. Okay, if they want to. But I believe, you know, That's the way they could be real successful in this event. And also they could bring in maybe, I mean, as crazy as it sounds, they can bring probably Impact, some Impact wrestler. I don't know. Maybe they could bring Moose in there to wrestle that. You could have Rep Pro in there. Use a couple of Dave wrestlers in there. You could use. I can't say NWA because I don't think NWA has anybody that belongs in that card. So they could bring in a couple of people. They make it look like they was like the first time. The first time you had you had Ring of Honor, you had New Japan, you had Impact, you had NWA all together at the first All In back, I believe it was 2017, if I'm correct, at, which was very successful. That I mean, because people were saying, "Oh, Cody can put 10,000 people in the arena," and they did it in Chicago, so it could happen. So we'll see. I mean, All In August 27th, 2023. I am very, very very invested in seeing that and where it goes. And if they are very successful, you know what I'm saying? They need to run with that momentum. I mean, if Forbidden Door is Forbidden Door is going to be off the hook. I know that for a fact. If they carry that momentum into London, you can't ask for anything better. AEW needs to get back to that momentum where they were at maybe a couple of years ago. And don't give me this CM Punk crap because I don't want CM Punk back at all. People want CM Punk to come back. No, keep that cancer away from AEW. Simple as that. That is it for me today, guys. Once again, thanks a lot for tuning in. That you guys can see. If you guys want to check out my podcast merchandise, you go to TCWR, veryimpressive.com, and check out the shirts, the hats, the hoodies in there. Again, that's tcwr.veryimpressive.com. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Usually be more on Twitter, and I always give my feedback, my opinions in there. You can also check out this podcast on audio version on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, what else? iHeartRadio. You can follow me everywhere. So, guys, once again, if you guys enjoyed the show, hit that notification button on the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and let me know what you think of this show. What do you think about this video? What do you think was going to happen with WWE, especially with this endeavor? Now they're getting investigated. The fact that Jay White went to AEW. What's your thought on that? And I hope that you guys could give me some input on that, and I would appreciate it. Again, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification button, hit that thumbs up. I will appreciate it. Until then, guys, I will see you guys next week.